supposed to be black. What is going on, people? It's been a minute. Oh man. Today I was on YouTube and I saw an advertisement for a book about Airbnb. And essentially this guy was saying he rented these properties and within 7 months he was making 100K. He didn't own any properties and he was able to quit his job. And that's what tonight's stream is going to be about. So many people are coming at you guys with that angle of do this and quit your job in a matter of weeks or months. And it's kind of crazy because I know that the majority of people are not going to be able to quit their job. I mean, the reality. The simple reality is everyone is trying to escape the matrix, but no one has a plan. And there's a bunch of charlatans because I've changed the name of the channel in the Money Lab. One of the things I'm going to do is conduct an experiment and call up landlords and see if they will let me rent their property on Airbnb. I'm not going to actually do Airbnb. I got too much going on, but I'm going to call because everyone makes it seems like there's a multitude of landlords out here who are going to rent their piece of property to you so you can make more money than they're making. I don't really know how that's going to work. I don't understand how that's going to work. But essentially, the other day, I put up a video talking about Uber driver making $6,600, DoorDasher making $5,000. This is information that I've gotten in the last 2 weeks from people who are renting my cars. And there was a lot of pushback. You can't make that money. And I'm going to tell you guys, like I was telling people back in the day when I was doing storage auctions, the money is there, but the money is like extracting gold out the earth. You got to work for it. The money is there in Uber. The money's there in DoorDash. The money's there for Instacart, but it's not easy. You got people who are looking for a guaranteed wage for minimum output. And that's consistently where you see it. I saw in the comments where someone was doing Uber, qualified for the PPP money, took that money and bought them a truck and started making them some even more money. So the money is out there. The money is out there if you're willing to work and extract the money out of the earth. The money is out there. There's so much money available right now, it's ridiculous. There's so much. And essentially, there's a guy here on YouTube who did Uber Eats for 30 days, 12 hours a day. He made $8,000. Now, if you are a hustler, and it's like if you did that for 3 months and you made $24,000, you know how much seed capital that would give you? Just 3 months. 3 months of hard work. And so many people are looking to escape the matrix. There's so many people out there who are selling options trading. And based upon my research, the majority of option traders lose money. The majority. You might have someone who has a feel for it and they may make some money, but the average person who does options trading loses money. And many people are selling these courses for like $400 or $500. And many people are like, I'm gonna do some options trading. I'm gonna quit my job in 3 months. And a lot of this stuff is going down because we have a bull market. You know, it is crazy. There's so much money out there, man. There is so much money out there. Yes, people want the easy way out. And I'm seeing all these plans. Like I don't think dividend investing, unless you're properly positioned. Like, let me give you my views on dividend, because this is one of the things that people are trying to do. I've seen many people who do dividend investing. After they started doing dividend investing, they started doing some research. They realized that dividend investing was suboptimum, meaning it wasn't the best way to go. And a lot of people, once they get into it, they're like, because here's the thing with dividend investing. There's several videos up on YouTube about investing. There's this one girl, she has $250,000 invested in dividend stock to pull out a funky $1,000. I'm like, and people are like, you go, girl. Is the thought of not working so appealing that you would leave dollars on the table to pick up dimes? Is it that big of a thing? You know, it's crazy. You could do a lot with 3 months of seed capital. You could do a lot. 99% lose money. Yep. Jim C., what are you doing? Pretty much. I mean, $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year off of 250,000 is like a 4% return, like high 3% return. Oh, all right. Because essentially, like Erica, she did a video talking about the trucking business, because I had noticed that she really hadn't talked about it. And Erica is getting pretty much out of the trucking business. And I understand that once you make pure money on the internet, it kind of alters you because you're not like built. I think one of the reasons that I'm going to push through with this car rental business is I've run a business offline before. And today I had to take a car in. The guy brought the car back yesterday. The rear bumper was literally hanging off the car. So I take that in, and I was hoping and I was praying they're going to say like $300 or $500 to just reattach that bumper. Nope. The estimator, she went around, she did it. She said it's missing these clips. So what we're going to have to do is order a new bumper, paint it, and put these new clips on for a tune of $1,545. Since I have insurance, and let's talk about this, because I'm going to have to do a special video about this. With Hire Car Insurance, they should cover the majority of that, because my deductible is $500. So they should cover $1,045 of that. And I was on the phone with one of their insurance people, and she was like, well, this is what we have to do. She said, I can't file a claim until I actually talk to the renter. And we got to do that for 3 weeks. If I can't contact the renter for 3 weeks, then we go ahead and throw the claim in. And I was just sitting there like, oh my God. So one of the things that I'm learning is you have to be capitalized to get into the car business. You got to have some money, because essentially, a lot of people were asking about what was the tag. The tag was a paper tag, and the paper tag was coming off. So that's why they duct taped it onto the vehicle. And then I have another car that's in the shop So I got 2 cars down. I've got 2 cars. I got 2 Range Rovers and the Mercedes. The Mercedes goes out Friday. So I have 5 cars out of 21 cars that are not rented. So I've got 17 of them rented. 16. I have 16 of them rented. And I feel that once I get the Camry back, it's going to go out immediately. And I feel, the Mini, we will have to see. We will have to see. I feel that the car rental business is promising, and this kind of goes back into escaping the matrix. Pretty much. Jim's getting out the trucking business. Go ahead to Erica's channel. She did a whole video. She talked about 3 years in the trucking business, and she's literally over it. DL, just go to her channel, check out her latest video about the trucking business, and she explains it. Jeremiah Hampton, thanks for the $50 super chat. I have family that lives in View Park, Windsor Hills in Los Angeles, and they're very well off. They recently told me they started their fortune by saving the wife income and buying property. The plan is the same one you informed. Yeah, because essentially, here's the thing. Everybody wants to escape the matrix, right? Everyone wants to get out the matrix. Everyone wants to quit their job, have copious free time to do whatever they want, but nobody has a long-term plan. Like many of these quick money, you buy this course, you buy this book, you do this for 3-4 weeks, you can quit your job. It's pipe dreams. I am showing you that this is why I'm like being 100% transparent, talking about all my problems with the car rental business, the cars, the issues and stuff that I've got going on, to show you that I have money to invest in this business. I have time. I've got credit. And it's still going to take me about 6 months to really get it where I want it to be. And the second month is about to be over. So that'll be my 8th week in the car rental business. And also, let's go ahead and talk about the Porsche. I have filed a police report on the renter. And essentially, I had to send him a demand letter by certified mail. And tomorrow, that car will be reported as stolen. Now, the insurance person told me that HireCar has a recovery team, and they're going to do everything they can to find that car before they have to pay out. But eventually, she said they will pay out. It just depends upon the circumstances and how proactive you are. So I am expecting payment from HireCar no later than August, the beginning part of August, because I just filed a police report. And this is one of the really frustrating things to dealing with this renter. He wasn't real helpful. So I don't really feel sorry that if he gets arrested, I really don't care. Because the detective who was doing the police report, he hit up his databases and he could not find any information about a stolen Porsche. So that leads me to believe that there was no police report ever filed. And I would not be surprised if he gets caught driving it and gets arrested. I wouldn't be surprised. That wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So no, I only thing I have on Turo is the Mercedes. The pop bubble, that was kind of annoying, because when I was talking about flipping furniture at a very high level, I wasn't getting the views that Jim and his wife Becky could just like, hey, we flip furniture, and they get like 100,000 views. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? So yeah, it's become, but once again, a lot of stuff has become big because people need money. People need money. Omar, you could do what you want, man. You could do what you want. Yeah, essentially, one of the things I'm going to do during phase two is reshuffle because the repair on the Mini was $3,400, and the Mini's gone, the Range Rovers are gone. The girl who's got one of the Range Rovers, I think she likes it because she keeps paying on it. So typically, I should have most of the titles first week of July for the first round of cars that I bought. And I'm just going to trade out of them. I'm not going to sell them because I can only sell so many cars because it's proving the challenge to get my dealer's license. The only way to make money in trucking is to have 5 or more trucks, a small fleet, and hire drivers. Get yourself out the truck, Jim C. That's kind of what Erica talked about. Pretty much the same thing. Yeah, like I would not ever do trucking. It never appealed to me. All right, Jeremiah, that's how you get rich slowly. That's how you get rich slowly. Melissa, yep, she getting out. Scammers. Jim C, 19 years in the trucking business. I'm pulled the trigger on being an owner operator, throwing the towel in. I've been profitable, yes, but I had to run my ass off and very rarely going home. That's kind of one of the issues I have with trucking. Like I would never ever be in a truck, but like I said, Erica broke it down. Mark Swift, once again, I am slowly coming to the realization that the Porsche wasn't carjacked and that someone is playing games. That's what I'm coming to. Because the cop said, he checked his databases. Because here's the thing, even without the VIN number, even without the tag, black Porsche cyan, black, Porsche only makes one SUV. That should have been in someone's database as a stolen vehicle. It hasn't. They hadn't been able to find it. Engineer canvas. That's pretty much what Erica said. Wow. We will find out because they're going to start looking for it tomorrow. Uh, I don't really think that you can get a GPS kill switch for 75 bucks, 65 bucks. Um, I will look into it because I already have all right, here's the issue, and this is becoming annoying. I already have the GPS kill switches. Finding someone to install them has been an absolute nightmare because people's like, you gotta say it like it's just so simple. If it was so simple, it would have been done already. I have called 10 shops and they're either 3 weeks behind or 3 months behind. So that's the big issue. It's not the issue of getting the switches. I got 20 of them in my kitchen on the counter. The issue is getting someone to install them. That's the issue. Yeah, because essentially, when I put out my first digital product, making money A to Z with Stealth Sorter and auctions, and a lot of people tell me to leave out pertinent details like buying a unit where rats got in the unit and crapped all over everything, or the time I bought a unit and a canoe hit me in the head. And you know, I told people the truth because buying these units was not some easy little pipe dream. It required a lot of work, and I explained that and I prepared people. So when people bought my book and went out to the storage auctions, they knew what to expect and there was no surprises. And I was very proud of that. But yeah, a lot of people are doing stuff. Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm at, Kevin Davis. What happens to him is what happens to him because he rented the vehicle and it was in his possession, and whatever happened to that vehicle should fall on him. Oh, I'm gonna do a special video on that, Chris Hill. I had a week where I got some really good deals, and these cars have been problematic. The Acura. Let me tell you what happened with the Acura. I had to get a locksmith because the key, which is not the original key to the Acura, it's a clone copycat key, would not open up the door lock. It will start the car, but it wouldn't open up the door lock. So the battery died, so the remote didn't work. So I had to get a locksmith to open up the door. Then I had to get the car towed to have a battery installed. And then the radio, I did go to two Acura dealers. The first one wanted to have me on an appointment. And the second one, some dude came out, punched in the code, the radio worked. So that car's gone. And I got a Camry that has an issue with the trunk. Like sometimes you're driving, the trunk will just fly open. And those were the two issues. I had 3 Camrys and another Acura. I bought 5 cars, and 2 of the cars had issues. Also, when you buy these cars, be very leery of paper temporary tags. Typically, paper temporary tags will fly off. They get wet. They'll have to replace them. So what, Chris Hill, my next buying plan is, I really wanted to stay at 7,000 to 8,000. That is a very tough range to buy decent, reliable cars that people want to drive. So I'm probably going to have to move it up to 10 to 12 to get decent cars. Sorry to hear that, Diana. I mean, essentially the detective looked, and here's the thing about the Porsche. It's a 2010 Cayenne GTS. It's not a lot of cars like that on the road. It's kind of a rare car, so it would be something that would stand out. Just challenge them. If they're past the time of limitations, you should challenge them and they should come off. Man, that minivan life is really good to you, man. Congratulations. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking, because essentially when he was late, that's when I found out that it was stolen. And I have a feeling that I'm going to do, because once again tomorrow it should go out as a stolen vehicle. I should be able to get the police report, and then I'm going to go through the hire car claims process. We will see, man. We will see what's going on. Omar, you got to make an operating agreement for each LLC. Well, we will see, because like I said, I had a real good conversation with the detective, and we both agreed that his story was a little funky. And, the detective's like, he researched the databases and there was no stolen Porsche in any of the databases. So we will see. Yeah, Jim, that's the trick. Because like I said, everybody wants to, this is why I did this girl, well-behaved financial blanket, who has a real honest approach to fire. Because here's the thing. Everyone's trying to escape the matrix. They're trying to get out of their job. They're trying to create freedom. They're trying to do what they really want to do, and they don't have a plan. I'm going to put up my ad for my own GPS man. I mean, Rod, that's everyone keeps saying, it's like snap your fingers. And I found, the solution is like someone just said, I'm going to have to find my own installer. So whenever I get a car, I was like, hey, can I bring it to your house tonight? And you can put the GPS in versus having to wait. Just use J.R. Ewing techniques. That's funny. Let's see. YouTube, online courses. This like 5 streams of income. Well, I would not finance because essentially on Savage Finance, I have a video talking about how to use business credit. Because, like, let me give you a rundown. The first round of cars I'm paying cash for. And in October, we will see how the Wells Fargo secured business credit card and what Wells Fargo will do for me. My goal is to get a line of credit from Wells Fargo. Like, once again, depending upon your income, you can only lease so many cars. You can only lease so many cars. You can only finance so many cars. And from what I'm seeing, that number seems to be 12 or 15 because that's the number I keep seeing from a lot of Turo. And there's one girl on here. She's been doing Turo 6 years, and the height she had 15 cars. So I think even with great credit, 15 cars is the limit. And essentially what I want to do is like shuffle around, get rid of the Mini, get rid of the Range Rovers. I think the Mini will be easy to get rid of because it's a 2012 and I can just trade into like an Acura or Corolla or something like that. So that's going to be my plan for that. And then for each one of the SUVs, I can trade it in and get 2 cars, which will give me more cars in the fleet. But for me, I would not lease or even buy a car unless I can pay cash until you kind of test this. Because like right now, I'm running an experiment on Turo. I marked the drop top down to $95 a day, and it rented. It went out and it came back, and it's rented this Friday. And we're going to see what happens because essentially you can adjust the pricing to what you want it. You can go down, you can go up. And essentially each month, like this month is $95. Next month it goes up a little bit. And then August it goes up a little bit more. And then September it goes up some more. So we will see. All right. It's been busy. I'm getting ready to do something a little different with all that. I'm going to launch that in July. It's a funny thing with the books on Amazon. I've lost the password. So I got to figure out how to get back in there because Amazon probably owes me some money that I cannot collect. So I got to email them. I just got to do some things. You should wait until the corporate papers because I'm getting rid of the art of holding. Everyone that's in the art of holding, you'll get the new stuff, but I'm going to make that one that's been inaccessible. Well, essentially, here's the reason everyone's talking about Turo. Many people think that Turo is a form of passive income. And if you only have like 2, 3, maybe 5 cars, it's not going to take up a lot of your time. But if you really want to make some money and scale up, it ain't even close to passive. It ain't even close. How do I pay myself? Do I send money from my trucking company to my holding company? Essentially, this is how I pay myself. I pay myself out of my holding company, and all money from course sales, YouTube goes up to the holding company. So that's how I do it. I have 2 repair shops. Cleveland, I work for Hertz part time. Like I said, this is the thing. The majority of the rental cars on the road don't have GPS and have kill switches. And a lot of people think, really? Like I feel that the car rental business is a business that black folks have embraced, and with that has come a lot of black folk tactics. So you write your operating agreement same time you set up your LLC. Helmet, this is the whole point, man. Everybody wants to be free in a matter of weeks or a few months, but a lot of people forget that business takes time to grow and they want to skip the basic fundamentals. Solid foundations matter. And this is why when I started Mac Daddy Autos, I got my LLC, I got my EIN, I got my business checking account, and I got a credit card for that business because I'm already seeing that that credit card is going to be a lifesaver for that business. I already see that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Rainy Woman. I don't really know anything about building a duplex. My understanding is you have to be zoned or coded to build a duplex, so I don't even know how that works. Oh, I know Cleveland Smith. I know because essentially, with Mac Daddy Autos, I want to take care of my customers, and this is why I'm going to move to a more expensive car because the Acras, I've not had a problem out of one of the Acras except for the one the battery died. But no problems out the Acras, no problems out that first Corolla. And essentially, I got to divide my fleet because once again, I got to run a lot of experiments. I got to play around with pricing. I got a lot of stuff to do. You're right. The operating agreements between you and your LLC, the state has nothing to do with it. Solid foundations take time to build. People want instant gratification. Oh my God. Because I keep seeing all this stuff on YouTube about, do this and quit your job and be financially free and do what you want to do. And I'm just sitting here because this is something else I've noticed. The majority of my renters don't have credit cards. Consistently, I'm here and I have to go to the bank and I have to transfer money to my debit card. The majority of them don't have credit cards. Nope, they don't hike up the price. The price doesn't magically change because I'm paying cash. I've been able to work a few deals. Well, that's one of the things I plan on doing because I need to find out who the installer is. And there was one place I wanted to make an appointment with, and then they got backed up because I wanted to find out who their GPS installer was and was he willing to work some side deals? Because I'm going to have my own guy because right now it's a problem. But let's say in the future, let's say a year from now when I'm buying 20 cars a month, I'm not going to be able to wait 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I'm going to need my own GPS tech to put stuff in. Last week was rough. Like essentially, repairs took up all the money that was made last month. Repairs are taking a chunk of money this month. And this is why I'm probably going to go back to Acura Corollas, Toyotas, because those repairs, they can knock a loop in your profit because I'm trending toward 12,000 this month. And if everything stays rented the way that it's rented, I'll do close to 20, maybe 21 next month. And that's kind of the max with the fleet that I have. So, next month is July. July and August, I'm going to sell or trade in some SUVs because, like, look, like if that Porsche shows up, let's say they go ahead and they find it by Friday, and it comes back intact. Next day, I'm trading that bad boy. I'm done with it. Yeah, because the booking delays are ridiculous. Give me some time to put all that together. You got essentially one of the things you guys can learn from me starting this car rental business in the same steps that I started the car rental business, you can start any business. The first thing is you got to get started. I don't care how many YouTube videos you watch. I don't care how many blogs you read. I don't care how many books you read. Nothing is going to prepare you for that business like being in that business. Because I watched a lot of videos on YouTube that were not helpful in the least with this car rental business. Were not helpful in the least. And you know what's funny? The videos that were kind of helpful didn't have a lot of views. I think that people are allergic to the truth. They don't want to hear the real. Pretty much. No, I didn't have to get a certificate of occupancy. A certificate of occupancy, if you're opening a restaurant or a retail store where you're going to have a bunch of people in there, but for a private office, you don't need that. I started my car rentals with 2 cars a month ago with the app Get Around. They set up the kill switch. Because essentially, Get Around, you have to take your car to one of their service centers where they'll do all that stuff for you, which I think is really cool. But I don't know. I mean, Dev Reedy, how are you doing with Get Around? How's the money? The majority of your customers are not going to be financially savvy people. If they were financially savvy, they would be in a position where they have to throw money renting the car for Uber. This would be true. This would be true. Oh, yeah. No, essentially, one of the things, and this is one of the things you have to do. Like when I buy a car, my first thing I do is get an oil change after the inspection. Yeah, you got to get started, man. I mean, whatever it is. I know, man. Dion Coleman, thanks for the $19 super chat. Thanks for all the great content, both free and paid. Right now, I'm working 2 full-time jobs remotely in IT thanks to COVID. Oh, yeah. Um, you will find a way. Yeah, this is the time to really start something because right now you have a lot of cash, which is good. And yeah, go ahead, stack something else on your plate because here's the thing. With me starting this car rental business, the next year of my life is going to be about that car business. It's going to be about renting cars. It's going to be about buying cars. It's going to be about getting GPS kill switches installed. It's going to be about that. Very interesting. I saw a YouTube video that was talking about this company that provides business funding. And once again, the title sucks you in and you go to the website. I got a bigger loan from PayPal than what this place was offering. So I didn't even pull the switch on that. I know, man. That's the deal. I mean, essentially, yeah, because essentially, this is the spot that we're in. I understand because I'm starting to see it. It's been a while since I have been around these people, but the same people who are renting my cars are the same people who came to the upscale garage sale. People who were looking to save money or people who needed something to make money. And I'm beginning to see, like, I had a lady rent a car the other day and she had her two kids and a bigger kid because she didn't really look that old to have a kid that old, but he was hanging with her. The kids didn't have no car seats. I was just like, hey, be really careful because they will stop you down here. And she said, oh, we're going right home. And yeah, she got that Acura. And that Acura is probably going to be traded in on something a little bit better. That Acura is the worst car I have in my fleet, aside from the Camry with the trunk. Well, the Camry ain't that bad. It's just got a trunk issue. I told the renter to take it to Toyota and then holler at me for the repair bill because essentially this is something else. Like I went to one Acura place and they wanted to give me an appointment, and then I just drove all across town to another place to explain to the dude what I needed, and someone came out and helped me in like 5 minutes. So this is one of the things you have to keep pushing. I know, Rod, for real estate, they do. They really do. Yeah, certificate occupancy. If you have like a store or a restaurant, you're gonna because essentially your certificate of occupancy is going to be tied to your business license. So you can't get your business license until you get your certificate of occupancy, which is going to require a building inspector and the fire marshal to come out and inspect your space. You can't get that until all that goes down. Yeah, it's still up. I just don't promote it. Oh yeah, because essentially there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Car B&B. And he's like, you gotta have two keys, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. And his videos just don't get the views. And there's a girl named Samara's Experience where she gets a lot of the Toro views. And her information wasn't helpful at all for me, but she's in California. So this is one of the things you have to understand. When you're watching someone talk about Turo, the information they're giving you is based upon their location. And it may not work at all in your location. Dev Reedy, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. I know 89 Dr. Funk. I know. Yes. Actually, that's in the corporate toolbox. I'm getting ready to redo all that because I'm seeing there's a lot of issues. My first $50,000 that I had saved, I bought a BMW. I didn't invest it in anything. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because essentially, we're getting ready to do a lot of little experiments. Because, like I said, when I get some time, like today, I had to take the car in, get the estimate. Then I had to go get a tag for the Range Rover. And then I had to get my green card for the Porsche stolen Porsche case. And essentially, I left the house this morning at 8 and I didn't get them back to 6. Location is true because hire car's not happening in New Jersey yet, but doing good in New York City. That's interesting. Oh man, I forgot that's happening in July. Yep. You got a Corolla and a Jetta in Philadelphia. All right, all right. Yeah, and she got that long curly hair. Yeah, I think so too. I know, helmet chill. That's crazy. Well, once again, we're going to get into some finer details because essentially this is why I'm showing you the real process of starting a business from scratch. And, it's going to really smooth out probably August because essentially, like, one thing, I don't have my phone, but one thing I'm going to do is get a phone because, like, here's the thing. When they request a car from you, because I got a lot of people who want to talk before they put in their request. And typically, if they want to talk, they've got a request that more than likely I'm not going to approve. Because I had this one girl who wanted her boyfriend to pick up the car. And then she wanted me to bring her the car for free. And then she's like, you just want money. And I'm like, yeah, guilty. That's why I started the business. And then typically, everything is going to my main phone, and what I'm going to do probably tomorrow, I'm going to go to AT&T and get an iPhone 6. Now, you're asking, like, why an iPhone 6? The iPhone 12 has these pictures that will not integrate with a lot of websites because it's some type of HETIC format. And then with the iPhone 6, it doesn't have that. I'm going to get an iPhone 6 and I'm going to switch everything to that phone, the number, the emails and all that stuff, put all the pictures on that phone. And then I'm going to leave that phone in the office. Because one of the things that I've seen is I've got people who will call me at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. Can I rent the car tonight? And I was like, okay. So this is kind of good for me because it's going to create a work-life balance because I'm going to have to go to the office every day to get that phone, but I won't have my phone ringing like when that dude was calling me at 2:45 in the morning. I am so glad my phone was on silent or I would have went off. I would have went off. So that's another thing. And I got to set up the phone for Turo and hire car. Got to set that up. Yeah, it's that's actually a pretty good price. But here's the thing, and this is something I discovered because I've joined a program. It's called Hire Car for Business, and the guys at Hire Car are really shocked that my cars are rented because I am the only one in Atlanta. And I'm gonna tell you something. Hire Car has a lot of room for growth. There's 2,000 registered drivers here in Atlanta. But if you go to the Hire Car site, there's only 280 cars on the site. 280. And that's not counting the ones that are rented. I have no idea how many are rented because once they are rented, they come off the site so you can't see them. But currently there's an inventory of 280 cars. And they've got 2,000 people and new folks are signing up every day. So this is going to go on for a while. Well, I would start flipping first. Essentially, when you run an experiment, like phase one was acquiring the cars. That took almost 2 months. Phase two is going to go on for 2 months. What phase two is going to allow me to do is to get the titles and get rid of the problem cars, trade out of them, and then move into August with maybe 30 cars, maybe 30 cars. And then August, move into September with 30 cars and get those numbers because I'm learning a lot. I'm learning what people will rent, like BMWs, They work well on Turo and they work well on hire car. All my BMWs went within 3 days of me buying them. 3 days. And essentially, I got one BMW that I think is going to be coming back, which is the SUV. I'm trading out of that bad boy. I'm going to trade that BMW for 2 cars, and I'm going to put them on there. I'm going to go for maybe a Corolla and the Acura. You know, I got to find a dealer that has 2 cars that I can trade that BMW in on, and then put those 2 cars on there. And then once I get the titles for the Range Rovers, they're gone. And, you know, once they get the money for the Porsche, because I got to, you know, because here's the thing. I cannot even contact them until I have a police report. And this is what's really, really frustrating with this guy, not getting that police report. So you're going to have to run experiments for a minimum of 2 months. Minimum. Preferably 90 days is a good window to collect a lot of data, but 2 months minimum. You can turn it off? How can you turn it off? I did not know that, Eli Filmy. I need to turn that off. HEIC, yeah, it's a pain because you'll go to a website and try to load the picture and it won't load because it doesn't recognize it. Yep. The renters can't speak with you unless it's an emergency, get around, handles all that type of stuff. Good to know. Starting a business. That's how I learned, man. I'm not bringing that out home 6. All right. Thank you, Eli Friendly. I did not know that. I will do that tonight because it's annoying, man. Cool. So I'm going to go change my settings. Thank you, Eli Friendly. I really need that. So essentially, one of the things we're going to be talking about going forward is, you know, escaping the matrix in a matter of weeks and months. Like, let me go ahead and tell you my plan. And this is a year-long plan that hasn't started. My first year, because essentially we have phase 1, which was acquiring the cars. Phase 2, resetting, getting rid of problem cars, putting them on the platform. And then we'll move into phase 3, which will be August, September. I'll start buying cars again. And that's going to take June, July, August, September, 4 months. And in a year, based upon my projections, because once again, these projections could change, but in a year, I should have close to 100 cars. And that's going to start from August to next August. And at that point, I should be close to 6 figures in monthly revenue, which then opens up a lot of new doors. I did not know that. We will find out. Sure thing. So essentially, I'm not even on my year until August. And that's when my full business year starts, because essentially this month we are, let's see, where are we? This month, if I do 12,000, I'm going to make 3,400 plus the 1,200 for insurance, $4,600. And then if I make 12,000, well, I'm using this money because, like, I use some of this money to buy cars, but I have a business credit card that has a balance of like 7,500 on it. So I'm going to use all that proceeds from this month to pay off that business credit card. And essentially the new business credit card that I have, I've got 60-day window on that. So I'll use next month's currency to pay that off. So yeah, that's the plan. Yes. Many are talking about getting business credit without essentially, because essentially, and that's the projections without business credit. If I get business credit, say October, November, those numbers dramatically change. Yeah. And now, Dr. Funk, this is all from cash flow and these cars will be paid for. DoorDash is down for the second day in a row. I did not know that. Oh man, there's like essentially Toro people are different. I had a girl rent the Mercedes, and she was pretty nice. So it's a different audience. This is one of the things that's going to happen, Runs. Once I get my commercial insurance policy, I'm going to start buying these cars in the name of Mac Daddy Deluxe. Mac Daddy Deluxe, because once I get my corporate insurance policy, then I'll start buying these names and these cars in that name as a corporate asset. And also, here's something else too. I've got a lot of options since I have those titles. Let's say I wanted to be a crackhead. I don't know what the interest rate on the title loan, but let's say times got hard and I had 100 car titles. That's 100 title loans I can get. I can raise a bunch of cash real quick. Wouldn't do that because I have a feeling the interest would be ridiculous. But having those titles, I'm quite sure that I can find a company that will take those titles and give me some money to buy more cars. I'm sure of it. I just haven't investigated it. But yeah, from this August to next August, the goal is to have 100 cars. And that's going to be almost depending upon what rental bracket they get in. Because one of the things I'm learning is which payment protection plan to get under. Because the one that the Corolla was under was the 70% plan, which has a $500 deductible. The other cars I have on there, I have under the 85% plan, which has a $3,000 deductible. So we will see. So, because I feel that I can get up to 40, maybe 50 cars by December. And once December, once I get to 50, that's going to give me the cash flow to buy 5 cars per month. So, 5 times 6 is 30. Yeah, that's going to give me 80 cars by May. And then June, July. Yeah, I should be, close to 100 cars. And at that point, once I cross over 100K, let's say I have a month where I do 140. I'm going to take that 40 and slide it in my pocket because that 100K will be enough left in the business to fund the business and to buy more cars and then also pay me. So that's where I'm expecting to be in a year. I'm not taking any money. I'm actually going to be using the business proceeds to buy more cars to grow monthly revenue until I get to a certain point. And then when I get to that 6 figures, because even with me taking money out, adding 10 cars a month is like adding $10,000 a month, or depending on what type of car. Because like I said, one of the things I have learned is how to buy. And what do I mean by that? When you buy the right car, like I got a BMW that I paid $11,000 for, right? And let's see. Where is the calculator? And I'm renting it out at $60 a day minus 15%. So I get $51 a day. So if this car rents for 30 days, makes $15.30 per month times 12, 18,000. So if I can find more cars in that sweet spot, because $55 a day is still expensive, but it's not expensive at $70. But if I can find a bunch of cars in that sweet spot where I can spend right at 11,000, this works really, really well, because these cars pay for themselves in like 7 months. 7 months. 7 months. And then they make a nice little profit. So that's when that's something I figured out from doing it. Oh, we'll be talking about marketing. We'll be talking about a lot of stuff. Tadula Akbar, thanks for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. I would just get rid of it. I would. That's what I would handle it. I would get rid of it. Pick 3 World. Thanks for the $20 super chat. So we'll be talking about some more about this, because one of the things is I'm actually doing this so I can talk about it, and then because I have a feeling I'll be able to get the business credit October. I feel that will drop in October, and then I think October is going to be a good month, because I think in October I'm going to be able to get 10 cars, and that's going to be a game changer, because I got a bond that matures, and I should be getting my $25,000 back from Wells Fargo. So I would just throw all that in the car business, and that will get me to maybe 10 cars. So if we can roll into August with 30 cars, then September by 4 more, and then October by 10, 14, that's 44 cars. And then I will easily hit my number of 50 cars by December. Thank you, Omar. Rons, thanks for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you. Well, essentially, once I install the GPS kill switches, I can use the same system to track all the cars, whether they're on Turo or whether they're on Hire Car. No, you should start with a corporation. Yes, at some point I'm hiring employees. This is why I'm going to get a phone for this business, because essentially the phone will stay in the office, and let's say I want to take a trip, I'll go out of town. And I was like, okay, you got to work this weekend, and you can take this phone, just leave the phone in the office, use the phone to check in and check cars. So a system and a procedure that I will be setting up. So essentially, this is the grand plan. I'm going to rent these cars for a year, maximum a year, to get the money I paid for them back, and then put them on the buy here, pay here lot, and generate even more money from the same car, because I'm going to have to consistently buy cars to refresh the fleet. Because like this Acura that I have, I'm getting rid of this Acura. It ain't gonna make it. It has 170,000 miles on it, but as soon as I get the title, I'm trading out of it, because essentially I need to move to about $10,000 to get a car that has maybe 111,000 miles on it, and then put 20 on it from the rental. It's still not 150. It's not 170. It's not 140. Yes, health before wealth. You can start with one car. It's like a 10-year process, but if you started with one car, you can get up to about $9,000 a month in 10 years, which is great money. Winston, thanks for the $10 super chat. We will see, man. We will see. You can create a holding company and create as many LLCs under your holding company as you need. All right, man. Thank y'all. That's all I had to share today. Be looking out for the corporate papers. Now that I'm developing a little bit more time and balance, I'll be working on that and look for that soon. So that's all I got for you guys. I will see y'all in the next one.